Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Mama Bear. I'm Bree.
And I'm Erin.
And today we have a very special guest. We are interviewing a new mom and my sister-in-law, Taylor Page.
Hi, Taylor. Thanks for coming on.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Mama Bear, I'm here to stay with wisdom and warmth. Let's light the way. Together we'll laugh, together we'll share in this cozy space.
So Taylor has recently given birth to her daughter. We're going to walk through her pregnancy and she is going to tell us her labor story. So Taylor, why don't we start off with your choice of provider for your pregnancy and labor?
Well, it was sort of an easy decision since my sister is a midwife, so it was kind of a no-brainer that I was going to choose a midwife for.
So did you have your sister as your midwife?
Yes, I did.
You
yeah.
did. Okay, that's nice. That's nice to have family. So actually, Bree and Taylor would have had the same midwife then because you both
Yeah.
used your sister.
Did you feel conflicted
In-law.
at all between OB, midwife,
No,
or
I knew I wanted a
you
midwife.
always knew?
Yeah, I think the benefit is because I'm very close with my sister, and she was already a midwife for many years, and I was always close with her while she was becoming midwife, so I
Right.
knew a lot about that profession. And
So
it was-
before you even got pregnant, you knew
Yeah.
one day you would probably have a midwife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Hypothetically, if your sister's not a midwife.
Well, I probably would only maybe have picked an OB if I wasn't aware of
Of
if
what
I didn't
midwifery.
have the knowledge of midwifery. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I would have, but
Hard to say in a different world,
hard to
right?
say. Yeah, because it was such an easy decision knowing that
Right.
I knew so much about them at that point because
so
Kayleen was
safe
pregnant.
choice. Can you walk us through your experience through pregnancy? You chose your midwife, you go through your appointments.
Yeah. So it was my first pregnancy, and it was a pretty easy all around, I would say, pregnancy. I didn't have too many, no complications. I was fortunate that I felt good up to the end. Maybe other than the standard, a little bit of morning sickness. That everyone usually has.
Yeah. When did that clear up? Do you remember?
A couple weeks into the second trimester.
And
yeah.
nausea.
Yeah, I had some nausea, but it was, again, it was pretty manageable. If I just made sure I ate in time and everything, I was pretty manageable. And then by pretty much the second trimester, it cleared up, and I felt good all the way to the end.
How were you feeling emotionally leading into your
Good.
into
Yeah,
pregnancy?
I felt ready from the beginning, to be honest.
You were ready
Yeah.
to have a baby.
I
yeah.
was very excited. And my husband was really good supports, and
Yeah.
it was really good. So
Anything you did special after finding out you're pregnant? Did you start taking a prenatal? Did you do any pregnancy workout classes? Walk us through that.
Well, we were trying to get pregnant, so I was taking a prenatal before I was even trying to get pregnant, or right when I started trying, and we have a
Baby is here with us in studio today. We have an actress, if you can see her rocking her.
I have a dog, so it was pretty easy in the sense we would walk at least an hour a day. So I think that helped a lot.
Yeah.
Did you have any crazy pregnancy cravings?
No, I didn't.
No,
I didn't really
nothing crazy?
find that.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like in TV they make them seem more abundant than they actually are, like crazy
Yeah.
pregnancy cravings.
I think some people get it. I think it's a
everyone
real
I've
thing.
talked to, they've never been like, I had this crazy craving for popcorn and pickles and
You said you've never heard someone?
No,
Oh,
not
I
the
have.
weird
Weird combos.
combos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was expecting that too, but I was hungry.
Yeah.
But I didn't find I really craved anything too much.
Did you make any other exclusion type of choices, like caffeine or sweets, anything? You tried to
Before I was pregnant, I was drinking 2 espressos a day, and then before right around when we started trying, I did go down to just 1. And then
Tough choice.
and then by the end of the pregnancy, I switched to decaf. So
There you go.
Oh, then
You
that's
weaned
tough.
your way off.
yeah, and I'm on decaf now.
Oh, you
so-
still are?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, other than
Oh.
the small treat or something,
yeah. Nice.
So-
Did you find it hard to switch?
actually, it wasn't so bad. I
No.
mean, I kind of weaned it so because it would be a 2-shot. I would do 1 shot decaf, 1 shot
Yeah.
full,
Nice.
and then I did that for a week or 2, and then I just switched to
It was
decaf, and I
smart
didn't even have 1 headache.
I was just about to
Amazing.
say it was smart to do it that way because
Yeah.
if you just cut cold turkey, you'd probably experience a lot of withdrawal symptoms, if
Yeah.
you will.
I think it was harder to go actually from the 2 to 1.
Right.
I was getting headaches then.
Yeah,
But that
okay.
was before I was even pregnant and stuff. So I was,
Right.
And then leading up to labor, how did you prepare? Did you take any labor prep classes? How did your midwife prepare you? Did you watch anything? Walk us through that.
yeah, I felt like I prepared quite a bit. I did take a class, the one that you recommended on Mama Natural, which was excellent. I really liked that.
Is that an online class or was it in person?
It was an online.
Online, okay.
Just like videos and stuff.
Okay.
And I listened to podcasts, just like listening to a lot of birth stories. So I was really familiar with all the different things that could happen.
And were you specifically listening to any type of podcast? Like, is there anything you were really curious about, or?
My favorite was just listening to birth stories.
Just
So
birth stories,
the
yeah.
one that I listened to was the Mama Stay Fit. I listened to them, like I would listen to it when I walk, cleaned and stuff. So I listened to quite a bit. And I really loved listening to just all the birth stories. So I was really,
Well, every birth is so different.
yeah. So it was like, you get everyone's perspective of hospital, home, everything.
So did you decide ahead of time that you wanted, because of a midwife, you wanted a home or hospital birth? Did you have a choice, or did you?
When I first got pregnant, we weren't sure. Like, it wasn't something I went into knowing. And then the more research I did, and the more the more I talked to like my sister Kaylee, my midwife, and Bree and everything, I was like, I think this is the path I want to go. And then, yeah.
So because you chose a home birth, did you have a birth plan that you had come up with?
Yeah, I
like
did.
involving pain management and stuff like that?
There's not a lot of pain management.
I had to hold back my laugh when she asked that question, because she puts you right in that spot.
Yeah.
As soon as you say, "Are you?"
Well,
do you have
sometimes you come,
plans?
but sometimes you come up with a plan before you actually have a baby. You think that there's all these things you can do.
Right.
That's what I mean. I
It's
don't
just
mean
funny
like
hearing just having
I don't
recently.
mean like during active labor, because obviously things change once it's happening.
It's just a
but
funny
before
question.
that, before you actually experience it, you're like, oh yeah, I'll do this, that, and that to help with pain.
Right.
Right? Like you have a plan. It just doesn't always get executed.
Yeah, I think the first, like, the number one, I think to help is like to be active and stuff. So I did a lot of, I walked, and then I did a bunch of YouTube videos of like a pregnancy girl, and just doing like stretches and like things to help put baby in the right position and help your loosen your pelvic floor and
Yeah.
all that. So I try to do that. And then I did some like trying to like do some breathing techniques, but I don't have the patience so much for
Did
that.
you plan to use water or anything?
Yeah, I did. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rented a birth tub, and I mean,
So let's rewind. So you decided ultimately to do a home birth.
yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Walk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, so I immediately wanted to get a birth tub, because I even hearing birth stories like that seems like that was needed to do it at home. There was a couple other things I had like a TENS machine, but it just worked only.
Oh, you did get one. Where did you get that from?
Kaylee actually bought
Oh, she
it.
had
I
one.
think just online, and she
Nice.
lent it to me.
Yeah.
I don't know how much effective it was,
Yeah.
but
You
so
had
I
it.
did like do those things. Obviously, I had like the balls and like that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
anything that like could help, I did have, but how much they really help, I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
Okay. So you're doing the home birth. You've decided this is your plan. Erin asked about your birth plan. Did you have anything else that you wanted or planned for?
I really wanted to do that as natural as possible. So yeah, like I made sort of like a sheet that I could post in my delivery for everyone that was there to follow. Just like some of like the standard things like delayed cord clamping and like contact immediately, and the father cut the cord, and like certain things I didn't want and wanted.
Yeah.
I did have a doula as well, so
Midwife and doula.
so I had a midwife and doula. I had like made a playlist, like I got essential oils ready and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you decided to go with the doula. What made you make that decision to like get a doula when you had a support person and a midwife?
So it did take me a while. I didn't immediately think I was going to get a doula, and then I think like the more stories I listened to, like more birth stories, and the people that said they had a doula would always say, "Oh, I recommend it so much. Like it's such like helps so much in your birth." So there was that, and then I talked. Obviously, Bree had just had Everest not that long before, so I talked a lot with her and she loved having a doula as well. She actually recommended the doula I ended up choosing.
So did you find it beneficial to have the
did.
doula on top of the midwife?
Yeah, I think because doula's doesn't only just attend the birth, like
Okay.
they also help like help you make your birth plan, and then she also came and helped a lot after the birth too. So I felt like that was very helpful as well. But she was very, very helpful.
Almost like a guide or
Yeah.
like a mentor in that sense, like leading up to answering questions, helping learn
Yeah.
your motivation for why do you want a home birth? How can I support you? What are your fears? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like she was like the first one there that we called like before the midwife and everything, and she was extremely helpful.
Awesome.
Even all the way up to the end, like she helped like clean up and everything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I remember-
Kaylee did mention that typically you would call the doula before your midwife.
Yeah.
Okay, so then why don't we, because we're starting to like overlap birth plan.
Right.
And so why don't we
So-
kick it off with your labor story with like, let's get some high levels. How long were you in labor total, like including early labor?
About 24 hours.
About 24 hours from first contraction to baby born.
Yes.
And how far in your pregnancy were you?
Oh, true.
I was so when I first started having signs, I was 40 and 6.
40 and
Okay,
6.
so you had
Okay,
gone
you're
over. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and at this point, what are your providers saying to you? Are you getting any pressure?
So I mean, they start always recommending like to get induced. I think around the 41 week mark.
Yeah.
So I didn't. In my head, I was gonna wait at least till 42. Because especially in Sarnia, they don't. If you get induced, you lose your midwife. You have to go with an OB. So that was really important to me that I wanted to stay with my, Kaylee, my midwife. So that was like the only thing really, is that because I started going over, they talked a lot about like, oh, what steps will you take? And at that point, I like hadn't met, like they recommend you meet with an OB. I hadn't done that yet, just because I was like, I don't want to get pressured into to scheduling anything that I really believed I was going to go naturally.
Right.
And I was like, it might take 41 weeks or something, but I felt like it was going to be at least within the 42.
Yeah.
So,
Were you doing any stretch and sweeps or anything of that sort
no,
yet? Not yet.
no. I didn't get checked, or I didn't do anything.
And were these offered?
Yeah. I think they get offered at least with a midwife around 39 weeks. They
And you
start-
declined?
Yeah, I declined. Yeah.
Did you do anything to help encourage labor, like curb walking, acupuncture?
I was walking a lot. I think I did the miles circuits.
How awful.
I know. I don't know. Nothing really worked. I was drinking like the red raspberry tea.
Yes, the tea leaf. Yeah, the
I
raspberry
was
leaf,
eating
yeah.
dates.
Yeah. I tried all that too.
Yeah. I don't know how much it helped.
Yeah.
Maybe all helped a little.
Yeah, maybe I'll.
But at that point, you're kind of like, send anything my way. I'm
Yeah.
gonna try it.
Anything like the more natural
Yes,
ways that you
yes.
could try, I was trying.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess like we had talked about this before, and our kind of what we agreed upon was like, if why encourage. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Why encourage labor to start early if baby isn't ready? Then you're just,
Yeah.
in my mind, it feels like you're just going to have a longer, more drawn out, less productive, less efficient labor. So you've tried the mile circuit, blah, blah, blah. You've tried all these the dates, the raspberry tea, and it may or may not have helped. So now bring us up to your first sign of labor.
So it was the Sunday, May 18th, and I woke up and I lost like at a bloody show.
Okay. Did you
so-
know right when you saw it?
Yeah,
Like, this is what this is.
Yeah, this is a bloody show. And because at that point I was 40 and 6, so I was like,
You're
okay.
on edge. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I immediately started cramping from that. And then I went for a walk with my husband and my dog. And then, so yeah, I was cramping around like 8 a.m. And then I think just around 10 a.m., I started feeling light contractions.
Yeah.
And they were pretty late all the way, like all day. And then I went for a walk with my whole family, actually, like about a 40-minute long walk. And it was slowly picking up, but it was still okay. And then I was in like early labor until, and then it started picking up maybe around like 8 p.m. is
And
when
how long are they? Are you tracking them?
I
at
was
this
not
point?
tracking
Not
them at this
tracking.
point, no. And they weren't really painful or anything. Just like you could tell they're there.
Yeah.
How are you feeling emotionally at
I
this
was
point? Are you
just gonna
nervous?
ask that.
Are you excited? Are you like, what are you thinking?
Both for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nervous because like
Do you know you're in labor?
especially your first, it's like and you hear all these stories about people going into early labor and then it ends and then
off.
it backs off. So like you don't want to start telling people, oh, I'm in labor.
And you're in a lucky spot that you don't have to technically call your provider when you're on a walk with her.
And
She can
have
see
you called your doula yet at this point or no?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't until like about like 8 p.m. I think I texted her, hey, just a heads up.
Okay. So after those contractions started picking up a little bit. Okay.
Just for reference, I was with her on this walk. And she may have been in denial about being in labor, but she had started to develop this like waddle she never had yet. And we're walking, it was like you said, it was a very hot day. She's on this walk and we're kind of walking behind her like Taylor's having the baby in the next 24 hours. Like she starts waddling. So yeah, it was very clear to everyone you were in some sort of labor.
Yeah. So, and
But
except for my husband, he didn't know.
You're right though. You don't want to get your like, especially with your first baby. You're like, is it? Isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, but you hear so many stories, like she said, of people that call their provider and they show up and they're like,
It
"Not
happened
yet."
to me.
Yeah.
I thought I went in with my second into labor at 38 weeks, and lo and behold, I didn't have her until after 40 weeks.
Isn't that crazy?
But I had like those initial like cramping, and this was my second, so I knew what those contractions
Right.
felt like.
Yeah.
And I had them, and then they were just gone.
Yeah.
And they
So I
didn't
didn't
come for
want
2
that.
weeks. So
Yeah.
so it does happen. I know what you mean. You don't want to get excited. Okay, so you had mentioned that your husband, Steven, didn't really realize that you were in labor yet. When did he kind of start picking up on those cues?
When my mom, sister, and sister-in-law was like, she's in labor.
Oh, he had to be told, like, your wife is in labor.
I think it might have been several hours we were all together, and to every woman in the room, we knew the moment she was contracting, we knew how long they were lasting, we could all tell. And I think I had already left for the night.
Oh, yeah, you had left.
And you had told me when you and Steven went to go home, someone had said, I think, to him, like, Taylor's in labor. And he was like, since when? Or something.
So
Yeah,
when you
we
had
were literally
lost-
on the car ride, and he was like, wait, is this like happening?
So-
I'm like, it's been happening all day.
So when you had lost your mucus plug in the morning, and did you tell him?
Yeah, like
And
I
he
wasn't-
didn't really kind of.
But it could be days.
Of
Yeah,
course it
so
can.
I-
I know. But sometimes for men, like when
He's in
they're
denial.
like, they immediately are like, oh my gosh, this is happening. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that
Steven's
first
a little
sign.
more chill.
That first
I
sign.
probably also said like
Downplayed it.
Yeah, I probably was like, no, I definitely told him immediately. I was like, oh my gosh, like, but I probably said like, oh, that doesn't mean it is
Right.
today.
Right, okay.
Like, I probably said
You're
that to
erring
him,
on the
and
side.
he
And then did he know you were having cramping at all?
I did tell him, yeah.
Okay, but still to him it was like, okay.
Well, we ended
this
up
is-
like it was around like 1 p.m. Like we went for the walk with my family, and
Yeah.
then we went immediately to my parents' house for dinner. So like there was a lot of people around, and like
He was talking to
I
other
ended up talking to the
people.
girls, and he's talking to the guys.
Okay.
So like he wasn't next to me that whole night.
And you're not,
either.
like-
So the girls were noticing a lot more than him. It wasn't
Okay.
until we were on our way home, I guess, really, where he was like, "Oh," like I was like, "No, this is like it has
having
picked
the
up
baby
already by
soon,
that
yeah.
point." So I was like pretty
So
sure it
around
was
8
happening.
p.m. it started to pick up.
Yeah, well, it was like it also helped that Kaylee's my midwife, so and she was there. So
Yes.
like she was like feeling my contractions. She was like, I wouldn't be like it's probably happening tonight. So like
Yeah.
she then put it in my head. I was like, okay, and then so we got home around like 7:38.
Okay. And at that point, where are your contractions at here?
So that was when I started like timing them, and then they were immediately like they were lasting between 40 and like some like up to a minute, and they were like between like 2 and 5 minutes.
So they were pretty close together and pretty long at this
Yeah.
point. And how is the severity of the pain at this point?
It
Are
was
you still tolerable?
very, it was still very manageable, but yeah, it was annoying that it was so close together. Like it was one of those you do one of those trackers and they immediately tell you to go to the
Yeah.
hospital.
Well, yes.
So
of course.
even my husband flipped
I
out
think
'cause
liability reasons
Yeah.
they have to.
within 5 contractions, it was like go to the hospital now, and he was like, "What?" So I was like, "No."
So now you're in earlier labor. Who's with you at this point?
Just me and my husband.
Just you and your
yeah.
husband. So you
Hockey
haven't called a
game's on.
doula.
Yeah, it was the final game of the lease.
Very important things are happening.
He's distracted. a little
Preoccupied.
bit,
Yeah.
He was good though. We just watched it in the living room.
So when
together.
did you call your doula? Obviously your midwife because it's your sister. Typically the midwife wouldn't know at this point, but because yours
Yeah.
is your sister, she obviously knew to be on standby.
Yeah, so we didn't really talk to Kaylee too much because we were hoping she would just go get some sleep. And then the same with the doula. Doula, like, I said, like, this is likely happening. And she was like, okay. And I think at, like, around 8, she said, I'm going to try to get some sleep now. So just, like, call me whenever it picks up. So we, I just labored with my husband. And then after the hockey game, we went upstairs. I tried to get some rest. Maybe for like 2 hours from like 10 to 12, I was able to get a little bit of rest in between contractions, but it was probably like a minute because they were pretty frequent. Like a lot of them were within 2 to 3 minutes.
were you able to talk through your, like, were the contractions too painful to speak through? Like, they're unbearable?
They were definitely picking up at that point when I went to go lay down.
So now the pain is picking up.
Yeah.
You're like, this is happening.
So-
Labor is progressing.
I finally woke him up at around 1, and I was like, actually, we had already called the midwife, the doula, sorry. We called the doula at 11, so they were pretty strong then. And I remember being like, okay, this is hurting.
Yes.
And then she was like, well, why don't you get a little bit more rest, and we'll touch base in an hour. And then we touched base an hour, and then she was
And
like,
what was her reasoning? Why did she want to delay? It's just they weren't close enough together?
yeah, I
or-
think she could tell that I wasn't quite in
there.
active labor yet. And then
And how are you coping through your contractions? Are you laying? Like, is there a certain position? Are you uncomfortable? Like,
I really liked hands and knees. So
this whole time through the night, your hands and knees?
I would like lay down, and then every contraction get up on hands and knees.
Okay. On your bed, like kind of hands and
Yeah.
knees on your bed. Okay.
I think we called her again at 1-ish. We were touching base, and I think around 1:20 she was texting with my husband, and she was like, okay, I'm gonna head over now, like it's time. So I think my active labor was probably around like the 12 o'clock mark is really when it started.
When it started, okay.
And then we went back downstairs. So we were upstairs in my room trying to get some sleep, and we went back downstairs. And then my doula arrived, and she was like helping with some positions and stuff. And then we called Kaylee, my midwife, at around 3:30ish. I think she arrived at 4, so somewhere between 3:30 and 4. And then she checked me, and I was 7 centimeters.
Oh, nice.
That
So
must
up
feel
until this
really
point,
good.
you've been able to kind of manage your pain in a pretty tolerable, I'll say, way. Like, are you
Yeah.
still
Have you
just
had a
using...
meltdown? Like,
No,
no,
it was-
you're
yeah.
Are you
calm.
still just using hands and knees at this point, or have you tried the tub yet? Have you tried anything?
I hadn't tried the tub yet. I think I was trying a few different positions.
Mm-hmm.
I think my doula was already getting me on the toilet.
Yeah.
Doing the dilation station.
Did you
Yeah.
hate that?
Yes, it was the worst.
Yeah.
It was the worst.
Were you bouncing on the ball at all, or using it for your stomach?
I did. Yeah. I used the ball. I didn't use the ball as much as I thought I was going to do. I really liked hands and knees. I just
Okay,
kept going
that
back
was
to
what you
that.
kept going
Yeah.
back to, yeah. Once you find something that works for you,
Yeah.
you kind of just keep trying to go back to that position.
I literally didn't leave that position my entire
and knees,
labor.
yeah.
You're the ball one, right?
Yeah, that was a ball, like my upper body on the ball.
So you really liked the hands and knees position, so you just kept going back to that
Yeah.
position. So that's what
But
you've
I
done
would-
up until this point, mostly.
Yeah, I think I did some on the ball and stuff.
Little
That
bit
was
on
kind
the
of my
ball.
go-to. And then when Kaylee came, and she, it was definitely intense at that point.
Okay.
And, she checked me. I was 7 centimeters, so that was a huge
That's gotta feel
relief.
good.
Yeah.
And so then we were like, well, let's go in the tub. So I already had Steven fill it a bunch of the way earlier that night. So we just had to kind of top it up and heat
Keep
it,
it
which was
warm.
good. So it didn't take very
Is
long.
there a specific, I don't know this, is there a specific temperature you're supposed to have that at? Is it supposed to be
I don't think so.
warm or is there something
I think it's just
that-
comfortable heat. I don't.
whatever.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I
I
liked
think
it
the issue-
cooler. So
You did. Keeping
Yeah.
it warm probably was
It's
less of a-
incredibly difficult to keep it warm. They're
Well,
so
it's a big-
large.
It's a big.
And you don't know
birth.
when you need it. So people are encouraged to fill it up sooner because it takes a very long time to fill. And then to maintain its heat is incredibly difficult. If you can imagine, your hot water tank's only so large at your house. So people run kettles, they boil water
How
on the
are you
stove.
filling up this tub?
They give you an adapter to connect a hose to your home
okay,
tap.
okay.
So it's literally running out of your home tap or your home tub.
That's great to know because I honestly,
Yeah.
as someone who didn't have a home birth, I
Yeah.
didn't know. I never thought, how would you fill up this big giant birthing tub? And for anyone who hasn't seen one, it's just a big giant blow up. It almost
like a
looks
little
like a
swimming
tiny
pool.
Yeah.
And you can buy a little heater that floats that can help keep it warm. But
Okay.
imagine putting a heater into a plastic pool.
Right.
It runs its own risk. There are protectors you can buy for them, but they're not really advised and you're birthing in and out of it. So some people do buy and use them. But if you're renting a tub, you don't really want to damage that tub.
Fair, yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So, and you liked yours a little bit cool. So I guess that was more beneficial than you didn't have to worry about keeping it.
It would be nice and hot when I first got in, and I wouldn't ask for it to get hotter until the next time I went in again. So,
Right.
Yeah. So I was able to get in right after Kaylee arrived, and that was really nice. It was really nice birthing in the.
So you found that helped with the pain a lot.
Yeah, it was more
the pool,
relaxing.
the tub.
for sure. I just felt more relaxed.
Did you
so-
find it lifted like the weight of your belly a little bit?
I don't know if I really noticed that.
Yeah.
But
Just help relieve the pain.
it was just really nice. So.
Okay.
But they don't want you in there the whole time, so they get you out like every 40 minutes or something.
Oh, okay.
So, because they also encourage you to pee a lot, so they usually get you out, you pee, and then like I would labor in like my bedroom for a bit. But while I was in the tub, another thing is midwives don't check. They only check you about every 2 hours.
Right.
They want to do minimal checks. So in that 2 hour span, so Kaylee like checked me around 4 a.m. Yeah, so she checked me at 4 a.m. and then she wasn't going to check me till 6 a.m. But in that 2 hour span, I don't know the exact time. She actually.
Have you been classified as like gone through transition at this point, or are in transition? Or
What is in transition more the
8 to like I think it's the 8 to 10.
Yeah,
stretch,
so
yeah.
I think Kaylee thought I had just gone through that
At
because
4. Or
no,
Somewhere
so
between 4 and 6.
yeah, because in that 2 hour span, she actually said like what you might want to do is like you might want to try pushing if it feels good, like maybe it's time to push.
Yeah.
So obviously that
I
got me
wonder
really
what
excited.
she noticed in that time that had changed about, like, did she
Yeah.
mention why she thought that you were at that point?
It was probably just because it was like it was a
time.
hard it was a hard 2 hours, right? Like, and I was already 7 centimeters when she checked me.
right.
So,
And it was
So it
getting
could line up.
noticeably more intense.
yes.
Okay.
Kaylee said maybe you should try pushing.
Yeah.
And see if it feels good.
And did you feel like pushing? Is that a sensation you had?
No, so I didn't feel like pushing, but she was like, you could try for this contraction, and if it doesn't feel good, just stop and
So that
then keep
must
going.
make you feel like
Yeah,
I'm
so I was
getting close.
excited. I was like, oh, I'm almost done.
Yeah, you're like, I've made it.
We're getting close.
But then I tried, it didn't, and I was like, no, that doesn't.
You
feel
weren't
good.
feeling like you needed to push yet.
So, and then Kaylee checked me at like 6 a.m. and I was only 8 centimeters.
Okay, so that in that 2 hour transition,
I'd
it had only
moved.
been.
So that was a pretty crushing moment.
That
because
is
that
crushing.
was a really, really tough 2 hours.
Yeah.
And how did you react?
I think I started probably
Like,
crying.
were you feeling like emotionally exhausted at this point?
Oh my gosh,
Emotionally,
I was
physically.
so exhausted.
Yeah.
I was so exhausted.
You're obviously hoping for
That
like
you're
9,
at that
10.
10, yeah.
Yeah. And to hear 1 centimeter in 2 hours is devastating.
When, and the whole room, you could tell the whole room thought I was going to
So
be.
who's here at this point? Sorry.
The doula,
Okay.
my husband, Kaylee, and me.
Okay. And everyone was like, this is it.
Everyone thought I was farther along.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and so it was really, everyone was like, oh. Like, we have more to go.
And
We have-
how's your husband supporting you at this time? Like, was he
was
very
excellent. Yeah,
was he
he was
very supportive?
excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did like a bit of a class and throughout the pregnancy where someone taught him how to do like hip squeezes and stuff.
Oh, good.
And he did that my entire.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
Good.
he was super.
He was right in
helpful.
there.
Did that help? Did that
Oh
feel
yeah,
good?
I needed it.
Yeah.
If my husband wasn't there, I would back up to like Kaylee or the doula and make them do it.
Yeah.
Like I needed it for every.
I remember Aaron, my husband, tried to do them or like tried doing something before the doula and midwife were here, and he just wasn't doing it with like the strength or like we never practiced
So what do you
that.
have to do for this?
I think it's like compression in to like
Yeah.
help give counter pressure on the hips.
Okay.
And then when Kaylee got there, she just came in with like force, and she was so
probably knew
confident
where
about it.
exactly to place
It's
her
exhausting
hands
for
and-
them.
I
So
can
for her,
imagine.
she hopes the husband can come in and take this role.
Yeah, and he did it he almost did every contraction.
Wow,
so
that's
he was amazing.
exhausting. Yeah.
When I found out I was only 8 centimeters, that was tough. That
Yeah.
was a tough moment. Because I felt like I had been doing it for hours.
Okay, so you're at 8 centimeters. Where do we go from here?
So, Kaylee said, like, one thing we could do is maybe break your water because the baby was really, really low, and I was everything else was like good. I just didn't need it to dilate. So she was like, I could break your water, and there's a good chance that I break your water and you fully dilate and you can start pushing. But that wasn't really part of my birth plan, and I was a little nervous. So, because to me at that point, I was like, well, why wouldn't just if it was time to break,
I've
why
made
wouldn't it break?
this far, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like I was like, I don't understand why. Like, if it's time to break, it should break.
Right.
So I was like, maybe I'll try a little bit longer. I was out of the birth tub at this time, so I was trying some harder, like things that didn't make me feel as good, because usually if they don't feel as good, that's because they're more painful. And they
It's
make
bringing
me, yeah. So I like
more pressure.
They're more pressure. So I did like some squatting and like, I don't know how long it was in between, but I tried a few. That was a tough while too, like a tough hour or so.
Yeah.
And didn't break, didn't get any further, and I was getting really, really exhausted.
Yeah.
So at that point, they're like, Kaylee was like, you want to make sure you have enough energy to push.
Right.
Sorry. So she was like, I don't know how much more you want to wait here.
Before breaking the water.
Yeah, because I was exhausted at this point. Really starting to lose.
Because at this point you've been in, so what is it now? Maybe around 7 or 8 a.m.? So you've been in labor for a full 24 hours almost
Just
at this
about.
point. Just
Not
about.
quite, maybe 10 hours.
Yeah, and then active labor
20,
for like about
22
7
hours.
hours or something.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I was like starting to kind of lose it emotionally, like getting really frustrated. So finally I was like, okay, break my water.
Yeah.
And like in the grand scheme of interventions, it's a lower risk.
Yes.
It's actually probably like when I look back, I'm like, why didn't I just say yes?
Yeah.
But when
Because
you're
you
in the
had, like,
moment, you have this plan
Yeah.
and you want to try and stick to it, so it's understandable.
Because it's like, it's an intervention, but it needs to break.
Yes.
Like, so it's like, it's not like some, like,
And in your
I
mind,
mean, it
did
doesn't
you see
technically
it?
need to break. People have
Yes.
called like
They
alcohol
have.
or whatever.
Yes, they have.
but
But
usually,
yes,
like,
at some
usually,
point, the
it's very
baby
rare.
needs to come
Yeah.
out of the water.
Yeah.
so it's like, yes, it's an intervention, but like, it's really like you're just helping that natural.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyway. So,
So what does this look like?
so yeah, finally she checked me. I think I'd barely moved again, and she was like, I was like, okay, break my water. She did, and I almost fully dilated, like just like she said. So,
Like within how long?
what do you mean how long?
Like how long did it take you to fully dilate
Oh,
after
like
she broke your water?
I think like immediately, like that
Oh,
was
like
what's-
pretty immediate.
Yeah.
Okay.
At that point, then she called, I think, the second midwife to come. I think I started pushing a little bit outside the birth tub, and I was really, really struggling. And never really felt
What
right
do you mean you were struggling?
to push.
Like you couldn't figure out the proper technique, or you just were in a lot of pain.
It just didn't feel natural to me.
Okay.
Like I felt like a lot of women say that like it felt really good to push and really natural, and like what you like can bear down, and it's just like it feels good. And it just like every push I would do, I'd be like, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right. Something's wrong. And they'd be like, and I was obviously like, I was 10 centimeters, so like it was time to push. And like at this point, it's like I could have waited to see, maybe I could have gotten that urge, but I'm so exhausted. It's like I don't want to sit there and wait for 2 hours.
And everyone's like encouraging
Yeah.
you, so it's just
So like in hindsight, like I don't regret trying to push, even though it didn't feel good,
Right.
because I was like too exhausted to wait any longer.
yeah.
Yes.
And you're ready.
and I was ready.
Your body
Yeah.
is 10 centimeters. You can do it. Yeah.
So
It
I
doesn't
really,
feel right.
I really found the pushing part really, really hard. So when I was doing it like in my bedroom, like around my bed, I was really, really struggling.
And you were trying different positions.
Yeah, I
and-
was trying different positions, and none of them felt great.
And even the hands and knees at this point isn't feeling good to push.
Yeah, I think it was still probably my favorite.
Yeah.
But yeah, not great. And then finally I was like, I want to go back in the birth tub, and that was huge. Pushing the birth tub was so much better.
Oh, okay. So that felt right to you.
Yeah. I mean, it still didn't feel great, so I still didn't really like pushing. But it felt much better. So I pushed for about an hour and a half total. So I ended up actually delivering her in the birth tub.
You delivered her in
Yeah.
the birth tub. Okay.
Yeah, so it was a water birth. It was definitely really, really hard and challenging at that point. But then she was born and placed on my chest, and it was, yeah.
And did you do the delayed cord clamping and all of the
Yep.
stuff from your birth plan?
Yep.
So your birth plan went pretty
Almost, it was,
well, minus the having to break the waters, which
yeah.
Did you see her gender right away? Because you didn't know what
Oh,
you were
yeah,
having.
yeah, I didn't know the gender. So, yeah, at that point, like, I didn't even think about it.
No,
like,
yeah,
you
you're
don't.
like
you're
the
so
baby's out.
relieved.
That
Yes.
doesn't matter.
No.
No.
It
she
really
was just on
doesn't.
my chest, and you're just like,
Especially
have
after
her.
working so hard to get
Yes.
the baby out and it's finally out, like that's not an initial thought.
Yeah.
no. So I was just relieved, and then they were like to my husband, like, Steven, do you want to check? And then he checked, and it was a
a
girl.
little girl.
And we really thought it was a boy, so that was a surprise.
So you were shocked.
we had told everyone we thought it was a boy. So
So that was a shock for you.
Yeah.
And how much did she weigh? Did they weigh
13,
her?
yeah.
8-13. Wow, that's a good size baby. So what are your initial emotions in that moment? Like, are you just like exhausted, or are you just like all the adrenaline's finally back? And
Yeah, a little bit both. Like, I was really exhausted.
Yeah.
Like, I even remember there was a part when I was laboring when they're like, what do you aren't you excited? Like, what are you excited for? And I was like, just to sleep.
yeah,
Like, at that point, I wasn't even thinking about her, which in hindsight, I'm like,
just-
obviously, I was more excited to see
Yes.
her. But, like, at that moment, I'm just like, I'm so tired.
Okay, so you've just had your baby. You've had a successful home birth and
Yeah.
delivery. How about you? Like physically, your delivery of your placenta went well. Did you tear naturally? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, I did have a 2nd-degree tear that was pretty deep.
Yeah.
So,
But you tore naturally.
yeah, tore
that's good,
naturally.
yeah.
And Kaylee said it came together pretty well though, and everything.
How
so
was the stitching part for you? Like, was that painful in any way?
I
or-
didn't really notice it.
No?
No.
Okay.
At that point.
So after you had the baby, because you had her in the water, how quickly did you stay in the water? Do you get out afterwards? Like,
I think I was in the water for, I might have this wrong, but maybe like 10 at least 10 minutes.
And did you
and then
deliver
you-
the placenta in there?
No, I didn't.
so then you get out and go on to. Did you go to your bed?
Yeah.
or-
Yeah, so like, because they did the delayed cord
Yeah.
clamping in the water.
In the water. Okay.
Yeah, we did the gender like reveal and everything in the water, and then got out and then delivered the placenta on my bed, and then did everything else on the bed.
Okay.
Had you fed her yet?
No, not this point. I think yeah, no, she's just crying.
She was just crying and crying. Yeah.
But I think I fed her within the hour.
Okay.
Well, you did skip one part about what was unique about her coming out.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So she had a hands to a,
Is that called? There's a term for that.
I think there is a term.
Where the baby had her hand by her head.
And that also can cause the tearing.
Or-
Probably,
Yeah, that's
Cause-
probably why I had a
that's
tear.
probably why you had such a deep tear.
And I actually forgot another part. So I delivered her head, and then her shoulder got stuck.
Right.
oh, okay.
So usually, like the shoulder, you deliver the head, and then everything comes out like right after. Like it's pretty seamless, I think. Kaylee was like right in the water and had to like pretty much like,
reposition to get her out.
And there is a beautiful part of the story where, cause her hand was like to her face. Apparently, one way to get like the shoulder out is like to reposition a hand, because having both hands down is harder than having like one hand up and like grab a shoulder out. So what a midwife will do was like we'll grab one hand out and then like the rest will come.
Right.
But because she already had the one hand, I think it was easier. And Kaylee said that while she was like trying to get her out, Gracie grabbed my sister's hand
And, like, held her
and
hand.
held her
That
hand.
gives me chills. That's so sweet.
And Kaylee was like, "That's never happened before." It almost seemed like she was like saying like, "Hi, I'm here, and I'm like,
Kaylee.
and I'm okay."
oh, that's so
It does
sweet.
give you chills.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful
That's
story.
I have goosebumps.
And when Kay tells the story, she also is like it chilled.
That's
like,
very emotional, yeah.
Like my little niece,
My niece,
I'm delivering
yeah.
her, yeah. And she said hi, yeah.
That's so
Yeah,
sweet.
amazing.
That is amazing.
So your first breastfeed.
Yeah, it actually went really well. Yeah.
How long did you guys wait?
It was within the hour, I think.
Yeah.
It was like after most things were done, and then
Yeah.
And she latched on okay?
Yeah,
and
I mean,
everything?
it was thankfully I had Kaylee, and then my
And the
doula was
doula,
also,
yeah.
so they helped me. It didn't hurt. It was good. Latched well. I was really nervous for that part, but then after they left and I tried myself, it went well too. So
That's good.
Isn't it crazy? That's one thing that you think about during your pregnancy so often is like, how is that going to feel? Am I
Yeah.
going to be good at it? Is it going to come? And then once you've done it, now you've done it a million times in the 8 weeks you've had
and now
her.
she just kind of latches herself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it
it's just-
becomes easier.
it's
and
second
easier.
nature.
Yeah.
Just part of life.
And then
now.
eventually you're up walking, breastfeeding, doing all sorts of different things.
Yeah.
And then your baby grows to be 12 feet long like yours, and you can't walk with them anymore.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, so you've delivered baby.
She was
and
fully healthy.
fully
Yeah.
healthy, happy baby.
Fully
That's
healthy.
great.
Yeah, she came
Well,
out crying
congratulations.
and everything. Yeah. So thank you.
Now you're in your postpartum. How has your postpartum recovery been, like physically and emotionally?
That part was a lot harder than I expected. Yeah.
The
I-
physical part, or
Yeah, like I just doesn't feel normal, I would say.
Yeah.
Like it still feels different.
Yeah.
It was like, I mean, I had a lot of support,
Yeah.
so that was like huge. Like my mom lives like 7 minutes away, and she was there like day one. Like all of the first week, she came and helped with laundry and the
Yeah,
baby.
that's so important.
Yeah. And then my husband also was off work, so he helped a lot too.
Yeah.
And I really like. They recommend that they say you just chill and have
Yeah.
everyone else do everything for you, and I really took advantage of that.
Do you
I was
feel
like,
like
okay,
you
I'll
struggled
chill.
emotionally at all with the transition?
Not like the first couple of weeks. I mean, like as a few weeks later, like when you start getting less visitors and stuff,
Yeah.
like it gets a little lonely because
Yeah.
I basically would just like sit in front of the TV and breastfeed her because
Yeah.
she also feeds a lot.
Yeah.
This
and
girl? No.
And so that gets really lonely.
Yeah.
But like I've been a lot busier since then. Like it was a few weeks where I was like, okay, I'm pretty lonely.
You
And
really
then-
have to find your groove.
Yeah, and then now I've been a lot busier during the day. So like now
You know
I'm
what?
feeling good again.
I had a friend explain to me that to her, when all of her friends and like myself included started having kids, she was just kind of like, yeah, you just have babies. It's just part of life. Now she has her own, and she's like, I didn't realize
Was this me?
how different it is. No, it was not you. But yes, you also. I didn't realize how much it changes your life.
Yeah.
Like everything feels different now. And
And it's just like the lack of ability to just pick up and go. Like, just like, oh, let's meet for coffee. Like, you just can't do that.
No.
And you're not quite there yet. But when Gracie's got scheduled naps, and it's just
Yeah.
like, and like, you're breastfeeding. So, like, you can't just be like, all right, I'll hop in the car and be there. It's like, well, I have to give a 25-minute feed and then
and
change
then
your diaper.
change, and then she'll sometimes go after I change again.
Change again.
sometimes after a long, busy day, like, and my kids are obviously, I don't have babies anymore. They're much older, but, well, they're older. They're not
older.
much older. They're older. I sit down and I'm like, what just happened? Like, I don't
Whirlwind.
even know what's happening anymore.
Can we touch back on like your breastfeeding journey and like, is there a particular reason you've chosen that? Is that just what comes naturally to you? Do you plan to go a year?
Formula,
It's 6 months.
breastfeeding,
Like,
yeah.
what's your hope there?
I always wanted to breastfeed, like exclusively breastfeed, just because like the health benefits, and also don't have to spend money.
Financially, yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, I just think that's a very natural way. So
Do you have a goal for how long you want to breastfeed?
probably a year.
At least a year, yeah.
at least a year. I haven't given it too much thought. Like we want to have more kids, and I probably don't want to. Like it would be nice not to be breastfeeding maybe while I'm super pregnant
Yeah.
or have a second baby. So
Is there, looking back at how your labor and delivery went, is there anything that was within your control that you would change for next time?
Good question.
It went really, really well. So like, I'm really fortunate that basically it went as planned. So there's not a ton. The only thing I would probably think of is like how exhausted I was. I wish I got more rest
Like, when would you
before. Like
during the day instead of
Like
going
went
on the
to bed a
walk?
little
or-
yeah, like I
sooner.
probably like went to bed late the night before. I think
Yeah.
I woke up at 6 a.m. that day, and
Yeah.
just like you don't know when
No,
you're going to
right.
labor. But so it is hard. But I wish I like took a couple naps that day. I took
Yeah.
like maybe a 20-minute nap, but I wish I just had a bit more rest behind me
Yeah.
because I think it would
I mean,
be-
you were probably really excited too,
Yeah.
so it's hard to like just sit down and rest, right?
And you're like
yeah.
a people person, so sharing
Yeah.
that day with people and being with your family and having that support, like, probably helped you more than you.
Yeah, and
realize.
even like I did go for like the walks probably helped me.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
some
get
people
going,
being
too,
around
so-
people does recharge you, right?
Yeah.
Like so.
Yeah.
But that was the hardest part for me was how exhausted I was.
exhausted,
So
yeah.
if I could like go back and try to get more sleep, that would have been one thing. And I probably would have also, one thing I would have slightly changed was I probably would have just done my water immediately.
Right.
Yes, right.
Were you able to eat through your labor?
yeah. I mean, not a ton.
Yeah.
But like
you're snacking.
I had like
Oh,
baby.
Greasy.
We should all be eating those marathon bars marathon runners eat while they're running.
Oh yeah, that's what we had.
Yeah.
We had it like the little gels that you have
Yes,
for a
exactly.
marathon, the honey
exactly.
packs. Yeah.
Keep your energy up. So, do you have any advice for someone that's laboring at home or like a first time mom going into labor?
If you are someone who wants to do it at home, I would say like you almost have to be all in. Like Kaylee will say that she'll have clients that will be like, oh, maybe I'll do a home birth, but like I also might like I'm easy. Like I could also go to the hospital. And even like that was my take at the very beginning. I was like, oh, it'd be nice to do a home birth, but like if I end up at the hospital,
no big deal.
No big deal.
Yeah.
And then Kaylee kind of was like, well, you kind of like have to commit because it's really easy to be like, okay, let me just go to the hospital then.
Confirm.
And so I kind of had to like really change like I that was kind of what I was telling people almost because I didn't want to like get my hopes up.
Right.
And I think you were scared. You were scared to commit because you didn't want to fail.
I didn't want to fail.
You didn't want to say, I'm doing a home birth in case you couldn't.
But
And then one day.
But it's not a failure.
No, but to her.
But that's how you saw
and then
it.
one day you had a shift. And you just said, probably after this conversation.
Yeah. Not failure, but like not go as planned. And it would suck to tell everybody like, I'm going to do this at home. And then go like, no, I didn't do it at home.
I think you're pretty self-aware that you know that would only suck for you. And everyone would totally
everyone
support
would be
you.
like, absolutely, that makes sense. No problem. But it would just like.
But in your own mind,
it just wasn't what you wanted.
Was my plan,
yes.
right? So at first I was kind of like, in my response to people, I'd be like, oh, we'll see what I do. And then finally, like I was like, no, I need to commit.
Yeah.
And so I started being like, no, I'm doing a home birth.
Yeah.
And then I like obviously like start prepping and stuff. Like it is challenging. So you really have to commit. Like
and know your why.
Yeah. And have a real reason why you want to do it at home. And for everyone, I would say like your birth team is so key. Like, to have like a safe team and stuff.
People that you trust.
Yeah. People that you trust and like be prepared, like know what you're getting into, know all the things that could happen. Like it generally like, so that when they say like, hey, like what do you think of this? Like you have a bit of knowledge behind you.
Right. You've heard different stories go different ways.
Yeah.
And
so like when someone says, hey, do you want me to break your water? It's not just like, sure. It's like you have some knowledge behind you about what that would look like or
what that means.
So that's probably my recommendation.
Great piece of advice.
And the birth team is so huge. Like
huge. Yeah.
I would have struggled to like accidentally like to with a random OB at that point. Like if I ended up having to get induced or a complication and I had to go to the hospital and it was someone random.
Someone you had never met.
Yeah, I'm sure it still would have been great. Like I'm sure the OBs are great and I still would have had Kaylee like as a support person. So that probably would have been fine. But just in like...
It's just nice if you're going to go with OB to know them from prior to when you're actually
and to have like
in
full trust with these people.
Yes.
One thing I really struggle with in Ontario is our lack of choice in birth providers, whether it is OB or midwife. You don't really get to pick. Yeah. If you choose to have a midwife, you're kind of just assigned a midwife. If you go OB, you're kind of just assigned an OB, right? Like you don't have much choice. I'm sure you have a little bit of wiggle room.
Yeah, you can recommend. Like,
sure.
You can,
like, but I know you really don't get to interview.
I know for some of... Yes, right. Like you don't interview
versus
them.
In the States or some states, I'm pretty sure.
I know some of my friends I've picked their OBs, but
there's other places where you can shop around in a sense, like you would for your hairstylist or people who do these more intimate things. Like this is your birth. It'd be nice if you could like we got lucky in the sense that my sister-in-law, your sister, got to deliver our baby.
Yeah, we kind of got to pick.
We kind of got to pick because we had an in, and like you said, you kind of can help some people because you have an in.
I think it's because just must be something to do with like the just vast, and we also have a vast amount of like the amount of deliveries that happen. It's just
and
crazy
it's the way
the amount of babies
it goes. Like
is.
Midwifery and OB care is funded through the government versus in some areas it's a private care.
Right,
it's not
so
you're paying for it, so you get to pick your provider.
Yes,
so anyways, I just wish you got a little bit more say on who's delivering your baby.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your birth story with us. It was beautiful. And now we have beautiful little Gracie here.
Already 8 weeks.
Already
Sitting
8
up on
weeks
her own.
old.
Oh my goodness. Look at her little head.
She's already podcasting.
Great.
I like to play a little game with our guests, a little would you rather game. It's just fun questions, nothing crazy. All right. First question. Would you rather give birth with no one allowed in the room at all or have it live streamed to your entire family?
Live streams.
Definitely.
Really?
Just to your family? Like
to your family,
yeah.
Oh, easy.
I couldn't.
Oh my gosh,
I don't think I could have done it alone.
I'm such an I like when
person.
I am in a private moment. I'd rather do it all on my own.
I wouldn't mind live stream. Now that if I had a second birth,
now that you've done it,
I think live streamed
So what you're
'cause I'm
saying
like,
is,
just
so
jump
what
on
you're
it.
saying is, if you ever have another baby, we get to live stream it.
Sure. Yeah, come join. Just kidding. No, I actually really liked being alone. Like I labored a lot alone, so I couldn't see why that would be beneficial, but I don't think I could fully do it. The whole
Fair.
thing
No,
alone.
not
Fair.
fully alone.
Yeah.
Live stream. All right.
Imagine without those hip compressions.
I know. I literally, I would back up whoever was there. I didn't even know. I'm like, you
Hands and
gotta
knees
do
back
it.
up.
Yeah, at least in the tub, I would literally just be like,
Just come get me. That's hilarious.
so
So live stream.
live stream.
All right, last one. Would you rather be in active labor during a heat wave with no AC or during a blizzard with no power? I think I know mine.
Blizzard.
Yeah.
In a blizzard?
Yeah.
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 What?
See, I think in a heat wave with no AC, because you can always get in a cool tub.
Yeah, but what do you need power for? I was in a dark room.
I was like, I don't want to sit in the dark.
My lights were all off. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was dark in my room.
we just had candles on.
we had like a lamp.
I don't
Yeah.
know. What if you need it?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, what if, I guess. No, my initial reaction is just blizzard.
Blizzard.
Yeah, because
I was on the hotter side,
Yeah, it was hot.
so I wouldn't have wanted to be boiling with nothing to.
You're so funny. We almost always disagree for a lot of them, you and I.
Yeah, like when it comes to like birth.
No, like the would you rather.
Oh, the
we
would you
typically
rathers,
are
yeah,
like
you're right.
not the same
You're
page.
right, you're
I'll
right.
always
We
come
think-
because she
think
writes
opposite.
them, so she
So I
comes
know
in
my
knowing her
answer
answer,
before, yeah.
and she has a reason, and so I'll come in with my answer, and she's like, "Well, actually, did you consider this?" I'm like, "Well, now that I
Obviously
think
not.
about
You
it."
thought of it ahead of time.
Anyway, awesome. Well, did we skip or miss anything that you think
Probably.
of? You'll listen to this back and be like, we should have touched on this.
Yeah.
Well, we can always have you back and do like a postpartum episode or
goodness.
talk about your journey so far, and we can recap then. But
Yeah.
we're so honored that you felt safe enough to come on and share your story
Yeah,
here.
thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we have a true passion about sharing birth stories and motherhood and pregnancy. So this means a lot. You brought your daughter and
Thanks
could
for
come
bringing
chat
her
with
so
us.
I could
Yeah.
get some baby.
Awesome. Well, thank you to everyone for tuning in again for another episode. And we hope to bring you more birth stories and pregnancy, lifestyle, motherhood topics along the way. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.